Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority. Today, we wrap up 6 weeks of superintendent interviews, and we're talking with the superintendent of New London Schools, Cynthia Ritchie. New London Schools opened on Tuesday. Hello, Ms. Ritchie. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How has the start of school been? How's it going?
It's going great. It is wonderful to see so many children filling our hallways and our classrooms. Thinking back, we had 40% of students that did not come to school for a very long time because they were remote learners in the past. So this is the first time we're getting to see everybody back in our buildings and back in our classrooms. Every day this week, we had a grand welcoming to the students with a variety of community and city departments and personnel coming to cheer the kids on. So those are all those pictures are posted on our social media sites, but you can just sense the continued excitement to welcome children back to school.
Can you tell us what's new this year?
Sure, lots of new things. We have leveraged our SF funding dollars as well as a variety of grants to provide more and more supports for students, staff, and families. So new this year, we've adjusted our school start times. We've built in before and after school programming in all of our buildings for all students. We have added a brand new early childhood center, which we're actually doing a grand opening today at 10:30. There's a ribbon cutting ceremony, and this is an example of a city and a school district working together to bring forth really transformative ideas and transformative work to support our youngest learners. So we will be filling this brand new building with over 100 preschool students in a variety of community events to help build capacity in the realm of early childhood. In addition, we launched a new innovation pilot program of a combined K-1 year-round classroom. So we have students that have a choice to come and be in a combined classroom that has a team of teachers and support staff teaching them. And they are going to school for 6 weeks on, and then they have a 2-week break. And during that 2-week break, we're sending them off on a variety of wonderful enrichments with their families, and things like swimming lessons could happen in that 2-week break in between. So we are piloting that model as well throughout our schools. And of course, continuing with supports for academics, mental health, social emotional development, food services, internet services, all of the above, which is really part of a comprehensive educational program.
Can we talk more about the social and emotional component? That seems to be a really integral part of this school year, particularly since we are still in a pandemic.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We are treating social emotional development equally as important as our academics, and the two really go hand in hand in building relationships with students. Day one and continued throughout the year is critical. Last year, we logged over 5,000 counseling sessions for students. So that was done virtually, and then when we came back in person at the end of the school year, it continued, and that work continued through the summer. So there's definitely a need of mental health needs, but also a little bit of anxiety for students to get back into school and back into regular routine. And although schools are reopened, things are different. We learned a lot of how to do things differently, how to work differently, how to learn differently. And students are still developing on their trajectories, and mental health is big part of our program. We use curriculum to teach skills and standards for mental health and social emotional development, but we also have teams that are supporting students behind the scenes and available day and night, both in person and virtually. We actually launched a brand new mental health team through part of our ESSA funding this year. So that is in addition to guidance counselors and social workers. And we have a psychiatrist on our team as well to help with the higher level of struggles that students may have.
Have you been hit? Let's talk about the pandemic and the Delta variant and COVID. Have you been hit by COVID yet? Any quarantining of students, teachers, classrooms yet?
Just a little bit. We had 2 cases this week, so we just started on Tuesday. We had 2 cases with minimal impact, so not too bad so far. Fingers are crossed. We have a mask mandate in all buildings, and the kids have really been great. The staff have been great about continuing to wear masks and social distance as best we can, hand wash, so forth and so on. So we're really hopeful for as normal a year as we can. We're determined to keep children in school. It's really clear that that's the best place for them to be. And you can tell even through their masks how much they're smiling when they get to see their friends and their teachers. I have heard over and over again, just greeting the kids at the door in the morning, how much they've missed us, and we've missed them. So it's equally beneficial to see them.
And Ms. Ritchie, that in-person learning is important and critical. We all know it, but now that the State Department of Education has pretty much said that's what's happening in Connecticut, can you tell a difference and speak to the importance of learning in person?
Learning in person is so critical. We have a huge instructional focus, as you can imagine. We are accelerating children, and we also have programs for enrichment and remediation. So in summary, we're differentiating instruction to try to meet the needs of all. Children are coming in with all kinds of advancements plus gaps, depending on how they were able to maintain their own learning throughout last year. So there will be a huge focus on instruction, and we're trying to engage parents in that as well through our goals this year. We will be doing instructional walkthroughs in the classroom where we're actually looking for evidence of high quality instruction and student engagement. We also are rolling out a bunch of new curricular units in hopes to truly engage students in a variety of instructional materials, plus allow them to have a voice and really be active in learning. So in my mind, the days of coming to school and sitting and having a teacher just talk to you all day long is over. Learning is now different. Kids are ready to move. They're ready to use technology. They're ready to problem solve together. They're ready to create and innovate. And all of those goals are part of our instructional model.
I think we all had to learn to evolve in this pandemic, particularly teachers who I think carried pretty much a heavy load. Can we talk about learning loss? How is that going to be addressed as we move forward in the school year?
Sure. So as I stated before, so key instructional instruction for everybody is number one. So instruction across all classrooms all the time that's well planned and aligned to objectives and proper pacing and differentiated is key. In addition to that, we have support teams to support students' various needs. So we have something called SRBI intervention teams with interventionists. So if a child needs a small group to review a certain skill or gap that he or she may have temporarily, we have support staff now in place in all buildings to assist with that. We have special education staff, paraprofessionals, extremely hardworking staff across the board, including teachers. We also have instructional coaches as one more layer of support, and then ongoing professional development to help build capacity. So it's our hope that students receive strong instruction in the main classroom, but also know there are additional supports outside of the main classroom to help them. And then through our after school programming, we added in after school homework help and test prep, study halls for children that are staffed with adults to help them outside of the school day prepare for the next day. Another layer we brought in was additional help for our students that are both bilingual and identified as special education. So we have a large population of students who are learning English, and we recognize that this was an area of need. And several students were not coming to school. They were distance learners in this population. So we have extra supports to help all students, but also extra supports to support goals for both English language learners plus special education services.
Well, it seems like the school year is off to a good start. Ms. Ritchie, is there anything that I left out that I did not ask you that you may want to say or address?
We're so excited to be back, and I guess I want to say thank you to so many people, but especially thank you to our teachers and our staff and our students and parents and our community. The pandemic has really taught us how to work together better and how everybody's input surrounding the child really helps a child be successful. I also want to put a plug out there. If there are any people who want to become bus drivers, that is one of our challenges. So we really need help. We are down drivers. And that is very problematic because when you're down drivers, your bus routes become longer and children have longer rides, so forth and so on. So every day we're hoping and praying for that extra staff and some extra support for bus drivers. And then, of course, everyone stay safe. And you matter, and we need you, and we want to keep our schools open. So thank you for being safe always.
Cynthia Ritchie, the superintendent of New London Schools, we thank you, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.